We're here in front of the Central Fire Station with Assistant Fire Marshal Carlton Scott. How are you today?
Doing great. How are you?
Great.
Good.
This is a pretty cool day, but we're actually talking about summertime, the heat, family activities, and the perfect combination of circumstances where people get preoccupied and sometimes forget about fire safety. So we're going to talk about summertime fire safety by leading off with tips for when you're grilling. And that's pretty much an all-American thing to do, right, Carlton?
Right.
The family likes to grill outside, keep the heat outside, but there are some definite considerations.
Absolutely. Always remember when you're grilling, especially if you're starting your grill up for the first time, if it's a gas grill, always check for leaks on that grill. Check the fittings. You can do that by using a soap and water solution to spray on the fittings to make sure that it's not leaking. Never use a match or a lighter or anything like that. Of course, that may sound silly, but I'm saying that for a reason because some people do that. So always use soap and water. It's the easiest way to find a leak. It'll bubble up and tell you where the leak is.
Very good.
Also, if it's a gas grill, when you're ready to light it, make sure that you leave your lid open. That way the gas doesn't build up before you do stick a match down in there to light the grill. A couple other things is make sure that your grill is far enough away from your house or anything that's combustible. At least 10 feet. Don't place it on your wooden deck or around railings and things like that that can catch fire if it were to flare up. Keep your grill clean. Remove the grease from the bottom of it because a lot of times that gets too hot and they can really get going. So just a couple of things to remember on that. On charcoal grills is kind of the same way as far as the distances. Always use the proper lighter fluid if you're using charcoal. Never use gasoline or kerosene or anything like that. Those can be very dangerous. When you're through grilling with the charcoal, always wait till they cool off and place them in a proper metal container.
Because it'll take a long time for those coals to actually cool off.
Yes, ma'am, it sure will. Okay. And then if you put them underneath your deck, which we have seen done before, it can cause a severe situation.
Oh my goodness. And of course we're taught when camping to douse those charcoals, but keep watching them because
yes.
It may take several times.
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So we've covered grills, but as you mentioned, not having your barbecue grill on a wooden deck.
Yes,
Think
ma'am.
of all the places in Hot Springs right now that people are going, that's exactly where I have my barbecue grill.
That's correct.
Not
I see
the
that
best
a lot.
place.
Not the best place.
Mm-hmm. If you have an open patio, much better than being around all that wood, right?
Yes, ma'am. At least 10 feet away from anything that's combustible.
Mm-hmm. So take note, folks. You probably know lots of people that could be looking into their home situations with where
Absolutely.
their grill is located. So we've covered grill safety, and we're going into a bigger topic because as we head towards Independence Day, Labor Day, summertime is often a time with lots of fireworks.
Right.
So how do you feel about people using fireworks in the city?
Fireworks inside the city, as most people know, is prohibited inside the city. So the use of them or the sale of them is prohibited inside the city limits of Hot Springs. However, there are some safety tips that we can go over for people that's outside the city. The best advice that I can give you is to leave it up to the professionals. Let the professionals handle it. Let them do the lighting. That way everybody stays safe.
Yes, and we're fortunate in Hot Springs to have a number of public celebrations each big holiday that
yes,
people
ma'am.
could choose to attend if they wish.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, inside the city or near the city, there are three starting on July the 1st at Lake Hamilton at the 7 South Bridges, where they always have those. That one, the actual fireworks are just outside the city. Inside the city, we have two permitted displays. One is on July the 2nd at Magic Springs, where they always have a great show out there. The other one is July the 3rd, Spa Blast, or at Oaklawn Infield.
Three options.
Three options that we have that's real close to the city, and there are numerous that's out away from the city.
And not to mention, no matter how ambitious you get as a family, you could never put on a show like that.
Never put on a show like that. They have the big stuff. So.
Yes. So you may be in a situation where you're visiting a family that could be out of the city limits and having fireworks on hand. What should you do? What should you be mindful of?
A couple of safety tips that you could that I'd like to point out is always set your fireworks up where they're pointing away from a house. Never point them where they go toward the people or pets or things like that. Things could get serious really fast. Also, I'd like to point out that on an average, nationwide, there are 18,000 fires reported due to fireworks. So it's one thing that you really want to be safe around. Watch yourself. Always wear tight clothing. Don't wear loose clothing when you're lighting fireworks. Keep children, far away from the fireworks as well. Another thing that people think is that sparklers, and I mentioned children, that they'll give their children sparklers and they're very safe, right? What a lot of people don't realize is those things burn at around 1,200 degrees Fahrenheit. To put that into perspective, glass melts at around 900 to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So those things get really hot and cause a lot of burns.
Gosh.
Actually, a quarter of the injuries that go into the emergency rooms this time of year are from sparklers, due to burns from sparklers. So that just lets you know that they are very dangerous, and to really keep an eye on the children when they have those.
There's something about those shiny things that kids are obviously attracted to, and parents, for whatever reason, think they're safe to almost like toys to hand to their kids.
Right, and those things can be very dangerous in the hands of kids.
Yes. So with all those fireworks tips, I mean, there's obviously a number of fireworks stands in the greater Hot Springs area, and people are buying them and using them. So please keep those tips in mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Should you be around fireworks. The fire department's on hand for emergencies, but that's not what they want to be spending their time with, having to respond to a fire at your home as a result, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so you actually see fires resulting from fireworks?
Yes, ma'am, every year we have some.
Gosh, okay, so we need to keep that in mind. So Carlton, thanks for sharing some summertime safety tips with us. And as always, what number should people be calling if in case they have a summertime fire emergency?
Of course, any emergencies, you can call 911, and that would get you the fastest response.
Right, well thank you. Hopefully people will remember these tips as they enjoy their summer.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
And next week we'll bring you more city news.